Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to the Underdark as we rejoin our adventurers as they are playing through this wonderful campaign out of the Abyss, as the Demon Lords have broken free from their abyssal domains and started to make their way into the material plane. But a little more on that later on. A massive hi hello to everyone over in chat and joining us here already. John Bamber Pig, Lord Kosh, Baron Dragonborn, and everyone else, thank you for joining us. It is a pleasure to have you here. And a big shout out to the VOD squad as well, of course. Thank you for catching up and joining us on our adventures whenever and wherever you can. Here is a link to said VODs. Boom. That is our YouTube, and our Twitter's there as well if you want to catch up with what's going on and see anything that you've missed or would like to see the older adventures and campaigns that we've done. It is all over there. Now, that said, let us also say a quick thank you, not only to you lovely people watching and joining us today, but also to our fabulous artist. As I put this over here in chat, out of the Abyss Arts. Boom. The incredible... Does that work? No, I misspelled it. Hang on. Out of the Abyss Arts. There we go. Right? Right?
So many A's.
There are so many A's. Hang on. I can do this. Out of the Abyss Art. Third time's a charm. Yes, it is. I can spell words, it's just bad with abbreviations, apparently. Okay, so, yes, do head on over to the fabulous... oh, nice. Otskara Samadishta, Baron Dragonborn. That means good job and for all your hard work today. I hope you can enjoy chilling out and relaxing with us here. Do head on over to the Instagram there of Saladman, aka Ryutoshi, for the chance to get yourself in their commissions and get some fabulous art like these pieces here that we have. And the only artist so far, we have different artists for all our campaigns. This is the only one so far. I've also got one of myself, so it is and definitely a good one there. I just love the style, and hoping to use them again in the future someday. But we've got a big long list of artists to get through before that. so many wonderful, talented people out there. Now, that said, let us also speak and say thank you and shout out the wonderful, talented people at Sirenscape. If you want some fantastic music and sound effects in your games, like we do, you can head on over there to Sirenscape.com and get yourself a free 30-day trial and try it out for yourself. Fantastic, fantastic stuff. And if you love it as much as we do, you can grab yourself a Super Siren subscription, and you can then have access to all of that sound delight for your tables as well, be they in person or virtual, as we are scattered around the globe. Now, also, speaking of music and stuff, we have several YouTube channels and Patreons and the like that also have fantastic music for your games. Please head on over to the YouTube VODs for links to all of those. That said, let us jump back in to what we are up to here. Last time we were down here in the Underdark, our adventurers found themselves trapped by an earthquake in a strange temple, an old, abandoned temple that was of unknown origin, but they found it now to be inhabited by a great number of oozes, grey oozes and gelatinous cubes and black puddings and the like. And luckily, not all of them were as aggressive as they usually are, and they found themselves a new friendo, as you can see on the screen there. They have a gelatinous cube, a sentient, telepathic gelatinous cube friend to join them in their adventures, at least for a while. And they were very excited to meet them, and it was very lucky that they did, because they saved their hides a couple of times as they continued to adventure through the oozing temple, quote unquote, this is what it's called, and they discovered the joys of pit traps with black puddings lurking at the bottom, and they came rushing up out of the pits to attack, and one of them was cut in half, making yet another one as it just separated into two parts and carried on attacking. But then, luckily, their new gelatinous cube friend, Glabagool, was able to block off the corridor and keep them at bay, whilst spells and other means were employed to destroy the evil creatures. Now, after that dangerous fight, and Corbin was very nearly lost to us, they managed to defeat those enemies, as I said, and they got to explore the rest of the temple in peace. Zakan, played today by that small logo. Oh no, there he is. Sorry, that was off screen. He's come back. He was looking there the whole time. Zakan went off exploring and found a room with some strange kind of amorphous statues and a fountain. And in the fountain, he found some loot. And he got to loot in that loot, and he got some treasure and some coins and a little bit of magic items, some potions, all that good stuff. Now, then they went back to the room where this water that was slowly filling up the whole of the temple complex, threatening their lives and also draining the air from the complex as well. They came back to the room where that was happening, and they realized that if they chipped away at the ceiling and they broke through, they could make their way up to this source of water and hopefully find a way out to escape and get themselves back into the caverns of the Underdark proper. They did just that, smashing through the roof, and luckily Glabagool, their new gelatinous cube friend, was also discovered he was very buoyant and floated up through and squeezed up through the hole bit ahead of them as they swam up and up and up quite a long way, but they managed to hold their breath long enough, and with a they exploded out from the surface of a river gushing through the caverns of the Underdark. And, as luck would have it, their friends, who you can see on the screen here, a trio of Sverfneblin, a poor elven prince, polymorphed into a strange Quaggoth beast, and the shield dwarf scout Eldith, as well as Elora's old friend Esmeralda there, not the same Esmeralda you may be familiar with, another one, but we are using her token, so I forgive you if you're confused, because it's a cool token. But yes, the other adventurers that they had been separated from by that said earthquake were there at the water's edge, and equal parts surprised and delighted to be reunited in such a sudden way, and that is where we'll be rejoining them. So let's quickly catch up with these lovely adventurers of ours and see who they are, who they're playing, and where they're at right now. Elora, please.
Hello, I'm Sam. I play Elora Lustrous. She is a high elf rogue assassin from a destroyed city, Mythdrannor. She ran away from home, started an outlaw band with Esmeralda here, and was captured by the Drow. To
Indeed.
now meet these lovely people and is trying to find her way back up to the surface and help everyone home.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Zakan, please.
Hello, I'm Steven, and managed to get here just in the nick of time.
Perfect.
I am playing.
Thank you.
I'm playing Zakan, an Aasimar ranger / cleric, and a native of the Underdark. They have been here for as long as they can remember, which is well over 100 years. Adventuring is pretty tough on this old body, but they are divinely given the mission to find people here in the Underdark and guide them to where they need to go, come hell or high water. I guess hell's or high water is more accurate.
Recently discovered by a new patron deity who is very much, on board with your mission there, and the fabulous Illustrae of the Drow Pantheon, who is very much on board for getting as many people up and away from Lolth as possible. And
yes.
Last but certainly not least, by any measure you care to employ, Corbin.
Hi everybody, it's me at Buns, and I am playing Corbin, our awesome changeling druid / monk coming from Black Raven Monastery, an unofficial tamer of the Underdark, according to all of their lovely animal companions that they have gathered along the way.
Intrepid zoologist.
Unlike the others, they were not captured, right? Unlike the others, they were not captured. They simply walked down here through the monastery itself, seeking adventure and a life outside of what their parents had planned.
Sorry, I feel there should be
awesome.
There should be a required. One does not simply walk into the Underdark.
It's not simply walk into the Underdark. You're right. They technically tripped, but that's another story.
Yeah, like Corbin just actually walked into the Underdark there.
Where does this go?
Yeah, like just merrily
like
whistling.
Saying it like it's a joke, though.
Yes, off we go. Okay, thank you. Now, let us get into things proper here. And sorry, say goodbye to the nice music, everyone.
Bye, nice music. Bye, non-ominous.
I was enjoying it.
I'll miss you.
I thought it meant that this session was going to be nice and peaceful.
Right?
Beach episode. I'm still waiting for a beach episode.
You just said you've been down here for nearly 100 years. What were you expecting?
Yeah, some of it's been nice.
Sounds like you'd know where the good beaches are.
Stephen, can you tilt your camera towards the window a little? You're a bit skewed. There we go.
Maybe
Perfect.
Skew.
Okay. Right. Thank you, everybody. Now, let us return to the river shore here in the Underdark and your friends.
Hey, here's a beach.
Indeed. Beach episode.
Beach party. We're going to stay here and have a beach party and nothing bad will happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Stephen, did you get to go to any of the beach bombs?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Ah, nice.
Absolutely.
Sorry, fond memories. We used to organize a big beach party here in Iwaki in Japan.
Yeah, similarly, this beach is covered in giant concrete tetrapods. They don't do anything, but they are here.
Ah, that beautiful Japanese coastline
They are
scenery.
here.
Worse after the tsunami. They're everywhere now.
Yeah. Throw it out.
Okay, so now that you are here, yes, your friends splash into the water up to the kind of knee height, mid-thigh for the Swerfneblin, and they're kind of reaching out to you and pulling you as the current threatens to swoosh and sweep you away off to God knows where. Elora threatening you to wash you back down to the Dark Lake. You're like, no. Don't want to go back there. And they seem to be slightly panicked. And they're like, quick, get out of the water. There's something there. And the Swerfneblin is like, it's a cube, a gelatinous cube, quick. And they're like drawing their blades. And behind you can see Globagul has got those two of the pseudopods, that they use to attack creatures usually, are just like out on the sides and they're just like.
He's got like a glowy rock in him as well, I think.
He's just slowly paddling his way across the surface. They're like, it's right on your tail, quickly, get out of the water.
It's the father cube. It's the cube, father.
They don't mean us any harm. They helped us. Back their long story. Don't touch them though. Still very dangerous.
Hey, you don't have to tell us. We all live here. This Jim Jar comes over and he's like, what do you mean it helps you? It's a jelly. The jellies are all really nasty.
Well, I think perhaps due to the increasing influence of the Abyss that, well, it's having an effect on the residents of the Underdark here, including Globagul there.
All right, get out of the water. Get out. You look fucking awful. You're right. What happened?
I imagine I look as awful as I always do.
A bit worse, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like pull off the drowned rat. Look very well, thank you.
You're making it work.
Yeah, Corbin's got braids, so like that's totally fine. and Zagan has no hair. So.
Okay.
But you can see just how like absolutely skinny.
Elora's hair covered in her face with like strands.
My head,
Little Mermaid. It's just
My headcanon is that as Glabagul broke the surface, he did the arch back, like throwed the head back.
Right?
Tendrils of slime just like slow
Like
motion.
surfaced. Like a Free Willy kind of
I was
thing.
gonna introduce them. Like they're all like kind of gonna get out the water and be like wringing out their clothes and their hair and everything. And be like, this is Gabagool. They have really good aim, surprisingly. But they have never been out of the tomb that we were in. And he said we would bring them up to see the rest of the world.
Yeah, the cube is kind of like
We made
angling.
another friend.
The cube is kind of like angling around, like looking up at the cavern and stuff, like looking around. You hear in your voice, in your heads, this is much bigger. I don't have to squeeze anywhere in here. He's like expands a little bit.
You do not need to fill this entire area.
They're maybe squeezing
Is
yet.
that the new?
Yeah, you got the cost.
that
You
the-
wait before you take a drink.
Is that the new biology of them? Is they just expand to fill any space, however big it is.
Like goldfish.
Bring it in.
Just soaks in, just like absorbs water until it grows in size. There is
Glabagul is
The opposite of Kirby.
I think it's a Cobalt Press monster where it's like a gelatinous cube, but it's a fishbowl, and there is like there's a live shark swimming around inside it.
Yes.
It's a huge one.
That's incredible. I love that.
So many great stuff from them.
I think yeah, so Zakan like takes off their big like flowy overrobe because it's soaked. So you
So
can just
heavy.
see their sort of like their chainmail and or ringmail, whatever it is that I have, and all the many bandages that cover them from head to toe. Because they're just mummified essentially.
Like Jim John like turns just like, do you want some privacy there, Zakan?
Why?
He's like,
Why would I need that?
Globagul's like, oh, allow me. Then comes between you, you just could see straight through him. no cover at all.
How fast did
I'm
Global
still
do
wearing my
that?
mask,
Because
it's
the
fine.
problem, the problem down in the caverns and stuff is that Global moves kind of slow.
It's true.
He arrives like 2 minutes.
Not getting no Webster. Like,
Yes, whilst he is with you, you will not be able to travel at a fast pace. You can still travel at a normal pace, but not a fast pace.
Okay,
unfortunately.
Yeah. It'll be fast for him, the normal for us.
so
Sweating ooze.
tiny
Chain
little blue
shirt,
pudding
that's what I have.
following him, trying to get back.
Oh, just imagine poor frail
That's-
Zakan trying to swim in a chain shirt.
Yeah. It's 20 pounds.
Oof.
But I think it was the beefiest, like, medium armor thing that I could go with.
All
Okay,
right.
well, if we can move to a normal pace, then we should be able to keep going. Right?
Yep.
Does,
Absolutely.
do either of you need to rest and kind of explain to the group? They say after the cave-in, we were attacked
Okay,
by.
wait. I need to take a nap. Wait.
Yes, I could use a long rest. I'm a little bit injured after that.
And Jim Joe's like, really? I mean, we just kind of looped around through a couple of tunnels and stuff, and had a bit of a look about. There's nothing nasty up here.
Oh, good for you. Laura kind of like sounds a little mad
Just like
about it.
wiping herself off.
Just a little
Like,
salty.
I'm glad
It's
you had
just
a good time.
Hey, Elora,
a bit of salt.
you shouldn't complain. Look, it's not like we can just like sleep a night and be perfectly back to health, you know. Weirdos.
That's fair.
With your magic healing. If I break an arm, I'm out for a month. At least. Now,
Let's
where's
make a fire.
Where's he
warm
off
up.
to now? And he kind of points over your shoulders to where Glabagul has just reached the edge of the shore and schlepped up onto the rock, and he's just kind of turned away and he's started slowly sliding across the rock surface with a slight hiss leaving behind him, off down alongside the river.
Gabagool, are
Yes?
you exploring?
There's something this way. Let's go.
There's something.
Unfortunately-
There's something.
Laura and Corbin need to rest for a little while, and while I am more or less uninjured, I don't quite have the stamina that I used to, and a bit tired out.
If we tell them we'll catch up, would we be like catch up? If we like we'll catch up in a few hours.
The combination of Zakarn and Eldith's tracking abilities, you would be able to follow his like trail. Yeah, definitely.
It leaves like a perfectly smooth surface, right? Like that's kind of how you can generally tell
Pretty much, yeah,
slimes
yeah.
are about. Yeah.
Mhm.
But Glavagool is like a newborn baby. I don't know if they should be exploring on their own right now.
No.
Jim Jazz says, but nothing messes with slimes and the like. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I bet you'll be
Anything
fine.
that goes in contact with him, we'll get messed up.
Right?
Gabagool, is it urgent?
I don't. There's something interesting. I have to go this way.
Yeah, we will catch up, Glavagool. I need to nap so bad.
Are you short resting or are you trying to get a full long rest?
I can handle it.
Is it just
If
the
you
hit
want.
points that we really need?
Kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, Alora?
Yeah, I'm 13 out of 31.
On a scale of 1 to 31, I'm at
Good.
about a 13.
13. Less than half.
Mm-hmm.
Less than half.
Yeah.
I'm at a
Bloodied.
9, y'all.
You can also use the bloodied
I
slash
am
legs. Yeah, terminology.
Yeah,
as well.
I am bloodied.
Yeah, we have. There are players that they put the yellow and red on their counters in battle as well, so you can see who needs healing and stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, feel free to do that.
A short
like-
rest will let us be able to roll hit dice, right?
Yep, that's right. Indeed.
Yeah. You can spend them, I think, as you need, like one at a time, if I recall, right?
Yeah, you can roll it, and if you can choose whether or not to roll more. Yeah, you don't have to predetermine how many you're rolling.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everybody. Now,
If we agree to do a short rest.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm asking if we're all agreeing to do a short rest, so I can click the
Yeah.
button.
okay. So yeah, please.
get a fire
yeah,
going.
you can take the benefits of a short rest there and take any hit dice that you would like. Remember, you only get half of them back on a long rest. So bear that in mind. You don't get all of them back on a long rest.
Okay,
Hmm.
I have 3 as a monk. Do I just use 2 or one of them?
It's up to you.
Yeah, so just roll them one at a time until you get to where you need to go.
Yeah, you can use all of them if you wish. Now, you are resting up here, and now that you're out of it and back with your friends, it's actually quite nice to have the sound of the running water, just going by. Although you do post watch Esmeralda definitely, and probably Esmeralda and Eldith take watch at either end of the tunnels that you're in, because whilst nice to have the sound of the running water, it does mask other sounds somewhat. And Glabagool just slowly slips out of view. And Jim Jar says, and don't worry, I think as we were like scouting about, looking to find you guys and find a way around the cave-in, I started to recognize a few of these tunnels. I think I can get us to Blingdenstone from here.
Okay.
It's
In case you can join Eldith and I at the front when we return to our journey.
Yeah, if you like.
Did Globable happen to head in the direction toward Lincolnstone or the
He
opposite?
did.
It just leads us to Bloomstone. I found it. It's so interesting.
Yeah, let me bring you over to the have inside? This one, luckily with river as well.
Fancy map.
I figured that was probably about right for the marching order. Although this was when Zakan was in a very bad way, so he was riding Webster. Let's probably switch you two around. Put Mummy back on Webster. And there we go. Okay. Okay. So, you finish up this short rest, and as you are resting here, let me quickly look at something. Doop, doop. Zakan, with your high passive perception that you have there. Topsy and Turvy are looking uncomfortable.
So I think they still have their like robe off so it can dry, and their whole like sort of turban head wrap thing that they've got going on. So it's just bandages and mask and whatnot, and they probably made some kind of like mushroom tea to try and warm folks up.
Yeah.
But they come over to Topsy and Turvy with like 2 cups and just sit down on the ground next to them and say, what is on your mind, the both of you?
And sorry, I have to double check. I forget which one's talkative and which one's quiet. I think was it Topsy that was. It was Topsy that was the chatty one, wasn't it?
Makes sense. Or at least easiest to remember if it's the
first
top one.
Let's have a quick look here, sorry. Yes, Topsy's by far the more social of the two. Okay, so yeah, Turvy's kind of muttering and mumbling about something, and Topsy's kind of like nodding as you come over, and she's like, oh, thank you, and grabs the mushroom tea. Hey, Turvy, drink this. And she says, Mr. Zakan, Turvy and I, well, it was Blinderstone that we were running from.
I recall.
And I don't know that we should go back. There are others like us there. And, well, the other gnomes, the other Swerfneblin, if they find them, if they catch them, they kill them. And
did you have anyone you cared about amongst that group that may be a good idea to make contact with them?
We don't know. We don't know anyone in the clan, no. But we were helping to hunt them, which is how we became cursed as well. We were victorious. We won, but both of us were scratched. And well, you saw what happened.
And there may be a degree of bad blood between you and the clan that has this affliction, then?
Maybe. You always seem to know what to do. What should we do, Mr. Zakan? I mean, we're in kind of a unique position where we know folks amongst the Swerfneblin, in the guards and the miners, but we also understand the predicament of the clan, I'm sure there must be members in the clan that are like us. I mean, as we've discovered since we ran away, it is controllable. What should we do?
They, sort of looking at the two of them with the mask for a while, and then, look off towards the distance, and they say, my duty has always been to guide those who are lost, but I can only guide those who know where it is that they want to go. What is it that you want? To live openly with your new status, or to try and return to society and continue to hide this part of yourselves? Or if your destiny you feel lies beyond Blingden Stone, that I shall take you elsewhere.
Turvey actually speaks up in a rare occasion of actually being comprehensible and addressing someone directly. He's like, home. We want to go home.
Zakan nods. That is the impression that I had.
But then Tubsy's like, but what if we can't? What if we can't go back? What if they find out? They'll just kill us?
Those among the clan, were they able to control what they had, or did they live with it much more openly? Since you were hunting them, I assume they were somewhat easy to find.
Well, we know what parts of the tunnels they usually come from. Have you ever been to Blingdenstone, Mr. Zagan? Do you know much about it?
I've been a number of times in my years, yes, and although it has been some time since, probably 20 years or so in the past now.
Yeah. Let's say actually, Zakan, you've never been to the interior, because they're very, very suspicious and very.
That's right.
Very unwilling to kind of let people into the city proper. But there are various mines and other outposts around the outskirts of the city. So let's say that every time you had dealings there, you just stayed on the exterior. So let me just remind myself of this proper so I don't mess it up. 2 seconds.
Never the main city itself, of course.
Hey, Scarlet. Yeah. So, yeah, in Outer Blingdenstone, you know that there are a few mines which are involved in finding the precious metals and gemstones and things that they use in their trade and their own crafts. And then there is a quarry, but it's not for quarrying stone, because you can just take a pickaxe to any wall that you like, and it's stone. There are, and Corbin would probably be intrigued to know this, there is a large group of druids focused on the connection to the earth and the underground parts of that druidic faith. You have heard tell in your dealings with them that they used to be connected to the Emerald Enclave, which is the main druidic organization on the surface. but then they separated from them to focus on just the underground part of the faith. And the quarry there is where they actually bring forth earth elementals to use in the city and to help them, and certainly in times of need, in times of defense, they can bring forth a great number of earth elementals and mess.
So that quarry is kind of a druidic enclave, and it's also in the outskirts.
It is, yeah. And I think so. I think you've stayed with them, and you've stayed at the mines as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So they, kind of think of it, and they say, never to the main city, of course, and also this was before the fall of Blingden Stone to the Drow some years ago.
And Topsy's,
I haven't been back.
Topsy's like, oh, so you haven't been since that happened?
I don't think so, because I think like we've hinted at it on the stream and stuff, but this whole imprisoned by the Drow thing, like it was 10, 15 years or so. Like they were quite lost for a while.
True. Okay. So she's like, yeah, those were dark times. We fled with those that went off to the dwarves. So it's been nice spending some time with Eldith, chatting to her about this stronghold that she's from. I'll get the name of it. Where was it?
Mithril Hall.
Was that the one? Yeah. Was it in that? Yes, yeah, the Mithril Hall. Yeah. She's like, yeah, we were with the Swerveneblin that fled to Mithril Hall. We still do a fair amount of trading with them. We've been with a few caravans and act as guards. And we also run caravans up to the surface and to the other dwarven strongholds that are connected to the surface as well. So I think the rest of you will be able to get home.
Yes, that was my main purpose in heading towards Blingden Stone.
I know Elora and Esmeralda want to get back to their friends. I'm not really sure what Corbin wants to do.
They look at Corbin. What is Corbin doing during this rest?
It's like playing patty cake with Webster.
I am very much not playing patty cake, but normally they find a really high place to kind of hang from. At this point, it is like a small web hammock that Webster has made, and both of them are just kind of in it right now, and they're kind of writing in their journal, kind of going back and forth, talking with the spirit in the book about what has been happening, and kind of, unbeknownst to you guys, started taking down more notice that they've been going through a lot lately, and they don't seem to worry as much about their friends. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it is.
Okay.
From Zakan's point of view, they just see Corbin hanging and writing in a book.
Yep.
So they just sort of look at them and go, I do not know what it is that Corbin intends to do. I don't know if Corbin knows right now, but if they wish to remain down here, I certainly wouldn't turn away the help. I am not as strong as I used to be, and things are getting worse here.
I hope that all the crazy things that have been going on aren't affecting Blindenstone.
I think Zakan had heard that they very much are, right? I think Zakan had heard from Captain Blackskull and Gracklestug that things are great.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. But I think they just say, let us hope so. We have a number of days yet before we arrive, so perhaps it's a good time to reflect on what home might mean.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, Turvy and I are both much more in control now. we fled because we used to change without warning. We couldn't control it. We couldn't control ourselves when we were changed. We had to lock ourselves away in a burrow. But it's interesting. This time we've spent with that new blade of Elora's has actually helped us to strengthen our will against it. That blade is constantly seeking to shift us into the Werat form. Did you know? It never lets up. When she draws it in combat, it's even worse. But we seem to be able to resist it now. It's actually helped us get stronger against it. And maybe
You should be commended for your strength.
mentally at least, eh? Bit of that mental fortitude.
I know something about that. They sort of like touch their band-aids, absent-minded band-aids, their bandages.
Band-aids.
Band-aids. They're not just covered in like cute little band-aids.
Hello Kitty ones.
You beat me to it. Whenever you help somebody through the dark, do you want Hello Kitty or Ninja Turtles? Ninja Turtles, please.
When you scrape your knee.
Underdark, it would be Glavagool or Webster. Which one do you want?
Would you like Glavagool? I'd like a Glavagool.
The terrifying spider band-aid.
The Glabagool ones are the poultices that they put on when you have a fever. You know, the Hiopito.
They're antiseptic. They tingle when they touch you. If it hurts, that means it's working.
It's like a menthol effect. Yeah.
Right? If it hurts, it means
It's
working.
very sterilizing. Yeah.
Yeah. Head on, apply directly to the forehead.
Burn away the infection. Okay. So, you finish up your short rest and head off along the strangely smooth section of rock.
See what Glavago's gotten himself into.
And yeah, you head off in that direction. Everyone used your hit dice and stuff, yeah? You good?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, and you continue on your merry way. Is there anything anyone would like to do and talk about to anyone? Alora, I think Esmeralda comes over and she's like, you okay, boss?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good now. I just needed a rest. I'm ready to go. Oh, you know, the usual near-death experiences. I'm used to it by now.
What is life?
Fat merchants are much less risky, eh?
Oh, well, you know how it is.
Give me a bored bodyguard on a merchant caravan any day.
Yeah, right? Those were the days.
Although it seems we may not have seen the worst that this place has to offer either. I was talking with the others, while we've been travelling together, and there are all sorts of terrible things down here. Have you ever heard of a basilisk?
Oh, I don't want to hear of it, to be honest. I've had nightmares while I'm down here between a Jubilex and Cirque du Moy, and we have many demons to fight. I fear this will be a long journey home.
And here's me thinking, Lorelaine back up in the band, in the mercenary band, outlaw band. I thought she was the one with personal demons. Now here we are stuck down here with actual demons. Hooray!
Yes, very different types of demons, both untamable, in my opinion.
Fair comment. Jim Jar was saying that Blingdenstone trades with the surface regularly.
I would love to go home right now, but I don't think I can leave all of this down here, it's such a mess. What do you want to do?
What are you talking about? It's not our fight. We're just getting out of here, right? Back to the surface and then back to the group. No?
I mean, from what I've heard, it's going to be our fight sooner or later. Either we stop it here while it's small, or we wait till it's taken over the whole abyss to come to the surface. I shouldn't say small, smaller.
I can't. What am I supposed to do? I'm a cutpurse turned highway woman.
I understand if you want to go home, Esmeralda. Maybe you could send word to the cities, to other bands that we've connected with along the way, and see if anybody can come down here and help.
Okay. And what to do with the others? What would you have me do with the Green Dagger whilst you're... Was that the right name? Is it the Green Dagger?
Yes.
I think it was, yeah. So, what should I do with them whilst you're doing your heroics?
I just hope for you all to stay safe. That's the only thing I wish right now. I can't even think of other things at the moment. Everything. This has changed my whole perspective down here.
You can do that. So what? Business as usual until the abyss breaks loose?
Yeah, I'd prepare for the worst, to be honest. I'd prepare for the apocalypse to come. And make sure you have a safe place to hide. That's all I hope for you.
Hey, we always have a safe place to hide. And
I've been debating using Miss Dranner as a contact, but I have no intention of being queen, so it feels wrong of me to take advantage of that.
so, when this is all over, she kind of trails off.
Well, I at least want to go back and see my city. I have to see what's left of it, but I don't know what I'll do from there.
Find us first. Please. Let us go with you. You know all the others would want to. Your royal entourage.
Oh, goodness. Well, not all of the others. There are some who didn't really want to follow me anymore, but I'd love to have you with me when I go.
Look. You said yourself this place changes perspectives. She just wanted to help those in Gracklestug. She wanted to help them break out from underneath their oppressors. You know how lucky we've been. You know the freedom that we have up there in the woods, in the wilds. She just wanted to, help the Grey Ghosts to get their freedom. It wasn't an abandoning of us.
No, you're right. I'm being small-minded. Never mind me.
And trust me, it was not an easy made decision either. She cut herself up about it.
I believe you. You're all safe, and that's all that matters.
You stay safe too.
Can't make any promises, but I'll do my best.
Well, at least for now, I'm here.
Thank you.
So, there's a blade. Okay. Now, as you all carry on through the tunnels, it's not too long before you catch up with Glovigal. you just, as they're still moving forward, they don't stop moving forward. The eyes, the floating eyes inside, just kind of swim round to the back of the cube, and then you just hear the voices like, "Oh, hello! Look at this! This is a great one. The one back there was nice too." He's not talking about the tunnel. And you meet up with them and continue together. Now, Elora, would you be so kind as to make me a D20 roll?
Okay.
Lepical, your rock has gone out. Let me see it and I'll light it up for you again.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I didn't notice.
11.
An 11. Okay.
Seems okay. Seems alright.
Lucky
The
for
next-
lucky. Huh?
The next few days pass much as one before the other, just a maze of tunnels and caverns, but Globigal being drawn on by whatever it is that's drawing them, and the Smurf Neblin becoming more and more familiar with the surroundings, managed to guide you without incident. And maybe it's your new gelatinous friend, or maybe it's just luck, but nothing seems to want to try its luck against you during this part of the journey. Zagaran and Eldith, pop off from time to time to gather edible mushrooms, capture some smaller, less dangerous underdark beasties for a bit of meat. Anything else that happens? Anything you want to do? Or does that pass without incident?
I think during, it could be a couple of days in, but during one of the campfires, Zakan will sort of address the group and say, as we approach Blingdenstone, as I may have mentioned, there are a number of caravans that go to the surface from there. So we are nearing the end of our journey that has been quite difficult, I know. And for those of you who wish to return to the surface, start keeping in mind where you may want to go, and we'll seek to find a caravan for you to do so.
And Prince Darendel, Prince Darendel's like, yes, thank you, Zakan. I must get back to my people. I hope they are able to see through this foul magic.
Me too, pal.
Hopefully you can find the answer that you're looking for.
Right.
Indeed. Yes. Everyone.
Corbin,
Go for it.
I was like, Corbin's gonna kind of speak up a little bit and be like, and if we didn't want to go to the surface, because they mentioned before that they didn't want to go back up. They weren't sure. They specifically came down here. I mean, well, once they were down here, they specifically sought out Elora and, their troop after hearing all of the things they were doing, and which was very different than what they found. But now Elora seems like she wants to leave, and Corbin doesn't want to take the chance of going back up to the surface and being found. That's kind of what they explained to everybody else, and kind of really put that out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would have caught on to Elora's resolve to deal with whatever this is happening down here.
What's happening down here, but after. Right, so you are staying?
I think Alora explains that she wants to help suppress whatever dark power is overtaking the Underdark. But for now, I plan to see this through and help you as much as I am capable of helping until it seems like it's too hopeless, and then I'll retreat.
Eldith speaks up, and she says, we should get back to my people. Back to Gontalgrim. It's connected. It's one of the places the Swerfneblin deal with. I've seen Swerfneblin caravans arriving in the lower levels. We can get back up to the surface through there, and we should tell them. We should let them know what's happening. They have strong ties to the Underdark. They'll know. They'll have allies. They'll have interested parties, people invested in the future of everything. And they'll be able to help us, lend us strength. Give us more hands to deal with this.
I fear it will be needed.
Indeed.
For those of you with such connections, I would ask that you do similar if you do return to the surface, or if you can get a message out.
Zakan, you should come with us. At least just to visit, so that you can help convince them, tell them what's happened here.
They seem uncomfortable, but it's if required, then yes.
Aren't you? She just kind of gets a bit of a cheeky grin. Aren't you honor bound to see us safe to the surface? Or are you just gonna shove us off in the right direction and hope we make it?
No, I will see you until you encounter the daylight of the surface sun. That is my oath.
Splendid.
Corbin, I know that you do not wish to reconnect with that which you left behind, but from what I have heard, it sounds like you do have a number of resources that you could perhaps reach out to. If you're able to bring any attention to what is happening down here, it would be helpful.
A lot of people that I would be able to contact wouldn't come down here without knowing what was in it for them, and saving other people isn't exactly a high enough reward for the risk. But I can still send something with the knowledge that maybe it's free real estate. There's a lot of things that are worth a lot down here, and a lot of people are too scared to actually coin in on that. If I tell them that I'm their only safe source of it, they would help me for those resources. It'd have to be a deal, at the very least.
I think, Corbin, you've heard tell of a let me double check my facts here. Facts.
Tell me about the criminal underground, for it is where I am from.
Indeed. I think... where was it? Yeah, you've heard... Is it here? Yes. You've heard rumors of a place called Mantle Dereth. And there are there's talk of it in the underworld and the circles you used to frequent up on the surface. It has endured for centuries as a neutral outpost where Drow, Duragar, Swerfneblin, and surface dwellers meet and trade and have connections. And there are...
What is it called again?
Mantle Dereth.
Mantle Dereth.
Yeah, I'll stick it in the Roll20 chat.
Thank you.
The spelling. And you've heard rumors of this place, and that if you can find that place, that would be an amazing spot to get a foot in.
If you've ever heard of it, I used to hear about people gathering at Mantle Nebula. They say it like that on purpose, like they're trying to remember like this name that they used to hear whispered all the time. It's pretty, well, my mother used to call it a dead zone. If you broke the rules, you'd end up dead. It's a neutral territory. You can't bring your problems there.
Jim Jar's like, oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
Apparently they have some of the best gambling houses in all of the Underdark. Can make myself a fortune.
Most of them.
I bet you.
Or you could owe my mom a lot of money.
I have not entered the city itself, but some 50 or 60 years ago I did guide a party of interesting people there.
The polite
As long as they haven't changed the system and I still know the codes, you know, a lot of call and responses. But if I can get us in, I can.
Wherever it is that you need to go.
So, with this thoughts bouncing around of what's to come when you find a way back towards the surface, you continue on your journey. Zakan, a D20, please.
See. Oh, can we click a long rest into
Oh yeah,
our
sorry,
thing
please,
here?
yes, please do.
Yay.
Not that I anticipate this will go bad, but
And if you used more than one hit dice before, make sure that goes back up to full, because you're okay.
I think it's been a couple days at this point.
Yep.
That's a 10.
A 10. Fantastic. Jim Jar gets more and more excited as Topsy and Turvy get more and more worried and concerned as he recognizes that you are getting closer and closer and are merely a few days away from Blingden Stone. And you are aware of their mounting feelings in each end of the spectrum as your journey once more continues unaccosted. Must have just have some kind of reputation or something.
What day are we on now?
You have been traveling for 14 days.
Okay. Almost there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it my turn to walk?
It is.
Okay, here we go.
Let's see what we get.
12.
11, 12.
Okay.
11.
Like, we deserve this, okay?
We deserve this, okay?
They earned this reprieve. So yes, as eventful and dangerous as your travels have been to date, the span of the distance between the Oozing Temple and Blingden Stone passes without incident.
Hey.
And
That's how it usually is. It's just a lot of walking.
It's supposed to be, right?
yes, even the eventful times. I mean, mostly it's just walking.
Yeah, even the eventful times are like fight a couple of oozes and then another 10 days of walking.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to, really want to, communicate to you all just how vast this is. This is running underneath the entirety of the surface world. So this is just an absolutely gigantic area that you are making your way through here. Corbin. Topsy falls back on one of these days and clambers up on top of Webster with you. Like Webster, Webster's gotten used to all of them now. Just like one little fuzzy leg just kind of scoops them up and plonks them on the back. She's like, ah!
Just like makes them look behind them and be like, they always do it when they look at one of them. When they're not together, they squint, trying to tell them apart, and then they're gonna guess and be like, "Hey, Topsy."
Oh yeah.
Ah!
You got it.
Nailed it.
They do. They're like, yes.
And she plugs down. Corbin, Turvy and I are arming and ahhing about something, and I don't know, maybe your experience can help.
Oh, do you need me to teach you how to punch them properly?
No. Well, you see me. I can hold my own in a fight. You think back to that.
So when they like went rah, but I'm like, but you gotta be careful. You break your thumb if you don't do this. This will hurt.
She was like kung fu kicking. Oh God, what are the fish people? Kotoa. There you go. She was kung fu kicking Kotoa off the boats.
I was sitting there like.
No. She's like, no, not that. You're running away from problems too, right? He's just like, oh.
I think I'll seriously. Hello, Doctor.
It's got a 5 point on it.
I wouldn't say that I'm running away from my problems. I would say that I am
avoiding?
Successfully escaping.
Okay.
They said that at the same time, avoiding, successfully escaping.
Alright, yeah, well. Turvy and I want to, successfully escape our problems too.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't think there's a tomb that leads deeper underground, so. What were you thinking?
Well, our condition. She's like, look, I can do it. I can do it whenever I like now. And just her face just like kind of starts to elongate into that mouse, like, the rat-like snout.
Can your brother?
Then snaps back. Yeah. Elora's inadvertently been training us every day.
So
sometimes it's a bit touch and go. There was that time, there was that funny noise off that side tunnel the other day, and Elora span around and suddenly drew the sword out without warning. Turvy almost shifted involuntarily then, but I think we've got a bit of a handle on it.
So are you asking me how to what?
Well, don't you ever miss home?
The home is relevant. It's I never really had a home. I traveled. I was attached to my family at the hip for the longest time until they threw me in a monastery for years. But I don't miss the place. I miss the people. Some of them.
Aye. Well, that's the problem we've got, isn't it? We miss folks back in Blingdenstone too. But we miss the place as well because there's nothing quite like being driven from a place and then claiming it back for yourselves.
So you're afraid to go back to Blingdenstone because of your condition? But you have control
Yes.
of it?
If the chiefs find out, they'll kill us.
Why would they find out?
Well, like I said with Turvy the other day, he almost lost it. He almost changed. What if that happens? What if something stressful's going on?
Are you scared that you'll change, or do you not trust your brother?
Both of us. We're scared for ourselves. And each other.
I think you should keep yourself away from where you think you belong because you're scared of what could go wrong. I think if you talk to somebody you trust, you can start to slowly put yourself back. See, the only advice I can give you is how to infiltrate your village. And I don't know if that's going to be helpful in this situation. But if you stay on the outskirts of your town and you make an escape route so that you can get to it at any time, maybe talk to one of your chiefs and show yourself off as protectors for your people so that they can see your condition is not a bad thing, but a good thing. It's all about how you brand things. You can sell shit to the shiniest things, but you gotta know how to market it.
Okay. And as you say, if we...
you think you need more training, then you should do that, though.
All right.
Until you feel like a jump won't make you turn into something that could get you killed. That's why I asked if you trust your brother. Not because you don't believe in him, because you need to focus on keeping yourself contained, and he needs to focus on keeping himself contained, or you can't help each other.
All right.
And she says it like very sternly, like the sentiment is something that has been drilled into her.
Yeah. And hey, like you said, it's somewhere where we belong. That makes me think, actually,
What did you
maybe...
leave behind?
Who's to say that the clan don't belong there as well?
It is their home.
Right? If anything, they've been there longer than all the others. They were there before they were there before the rest of us came back.
See, and if you would like for your clan to be able to come home, to infiltrate back into where they belong, you have to be the first ones. You have to be the scouts. You have to make sure it's safe before you all run into something dangerous.
Bridge the gap, as it were.
Exactly.
It's a bit of a yawning chasm,
You
but
act like you
give it a go.
belong, you always will. Yeah, and they're like, if you act like you belong, you always will. People only notice you when you start acting suspicious.
Right. I can do that.
Such crime advice. Such crime advice.
Crime is all they know.
Oh, go do a crime.
Okay. Now, all it needs is to get everyone talking, right? Instead of just having at each other with swords.
Yeah, a lot more can get done with talking than with stabbing. It's one of the main reasons why I left. I'm a better talker than I am a stabber.
It's always preferable, right? And hey,
Especially if you're the one getting stabbed.
and if the whole Underdark's about to explode, then enemy of my enemy and all that.
I feel like this place is misunderstood. Kind of like you. It's big and scary and takes people by surprise, and half the time you're just kind of going, ah! But there's a lot more that could be used as strength than people give it credit for. A lot more to be found.
It's true. And hey, if they let you lot inside the city, you'll see that for yourselves. It's a beautiful place.
Right?
Thank you. She kind of spins, like goes side saddle and just slides down the fuzzy butt onto the ground. Off
They
Webster.
talk to Webster a little bit after they're gone. They're like, I don't think I actually helped them. I don't know what kind of advice I've just given. Just the arm is just like, it's okay, Dad.
Just those eyes, just reflecting the light, the torchlight.
It's okay, Dad.
And Elora, as she comes back, Topsy goes by where you're walking. Hey, Elora, could you do us a favor?
Yeah, sure.
Just, from time to time, just without warning, could you draw your sword?
I think at that, Alora immediately unsheathes her sword and puts it maybe a little too close. Sure, like that?
And Topsy's like, "Hey! Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Alora took a little too much pleasure in that.
Kids are weird.
Okay. So yeah, with Elora signed up to train them up with
For very normal gnome who like tried to get advice from from us. Got like crime advice and weird like divine non-advice. Got a sword pointed at them.
And then sword training.
We did it. We saved the youth.
Okay.
Be mysterious. Do crimes. I will murder you.
Almost murder you. Just scare you.
Yeah.
Almost murder
Right, it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. All that.
you.
Yeah, D&D comic. Elora has a sword which forces lycanthropes into their changed form, and Topsy and Turvy are were-rats who are trying to control that urge to change. So they're having Elora suddenly draw the sword and which will try and force them into their were-rat form.
Alora has a sunlight blade and a moonlight blade, which is cool as
He was
hell.
scared out of his mind.
What was that?
What was that?
Puns, was that on your end? This is like some random
What's up?
voice.
Some squeaky voice
Oh, I
said
had my
he was
headphones
scared out of his mind.
I was like, hello, is someone there?
I don't know. I think my partner tried to walk in for a second and then walked back out. I couldn't hear anything.
Oh. Anyway,
Strange.
yeah, very. Okay, Elora, roll me a d6 if you would be so kind.
Sorry, who did you ask?
Elora, you please.
Okay. That's a 4.
4. Thank you. So, as you come closer and closer to the city of Blingdenstone, you are traveling along one day, same as pretty much any other, recently, under the usual combination of caverns and tunnels and things. And then, suddenly, you hear a low whistle. Did that come across okay? I don't know if my mic cuts it out.
It did.
Okay.
It's a whistle.
Yeah.
Would I be recognized? Would I be able to not recognize the whistle, but like know that that's one of the things?
Not you, Corbin, but Jimjar turns in the direction that it came from, and he's like, and like whistles back in that direction. He's like, we have arrived. I wondered what direction we were coming from. Now I know. Come on, everyone. The big shine mines are up there. He just points at some like random jumble of stalagmites and rocky, like shelves and stuff up on the side.
Corbin just like takes her knapsack and reverses it so that it's on like the front of them while they're writing Webster, because that's where the egg is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like,
Keep that nice and
I
close.
can see you. Because there, I see you, buddy.
Yep.
Tightens the little like the top of it and it's like, all right, let's go.
Okay. And Jimjar moves to the front, and Topsy and Turvy move to the back. And he starts to lead you up, picking your way through a jumble of stalagmites and broken rock that leads kind of up, sloping gently up towards the edge of this cavern, where there are some ledges and shelves up above. And as you do, almost appearing to emerge from the stone itself, although they must have been hidden, you see a dozen Swerfneblin with weapons. Drawn, but not held threateningly. And also, let me see if I can find these little fellas.
Get into the middle of us and make yourself as small as possible.
Good point.
Anyway, if he's like amongst us, it seems more like he's here on purpose and not chasing us very slowly.
Yes. And also, you see, come on, Roll20. Up around where these Swerfneblin are appearing out of their hiding places, several of the boulders shift and move. And Zakan, you see what you know to be Galabadur, which are a type of elemental that can be found around these parts, and they just look like regular rocks and boulders when they're not doing anything, but when they stand up and move around, you get to see them all too clearly. Let me just get this so I can show you properly.
It has been some time.
There's just a sound of like rock on rock kind of grating as they move and become visible. Stand up. There they are. Hello. And Roll20 there.
Rock friend.
Indeed. And let's look here. Okay, and you see...
Are they like a sentient thing? They're different to like what the druids make, like from the golems, or...
They are elementals, so they would have been summoned by the druids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to help defend here. And the head of the head of the guards comes to the front and kind of stands there. Who are you lot? Who are you travelling there with, friend? He's like addressed Jimjar. Jimjar's like, hey, just let me deal with this, all right? I speak the lingo, He's like, all right there, mate. Don't worry. It's all above board. No problems here. No ill will. These folks have helped us out proper, actually. We got ourselves in a bit of a predicament, and they saved us and have been escorting us back here to home sweet home, eh? And the head of the guards is like, all right. Come on up and have a rest. And Zakan, you know this is probably one of the entrances to one of the mining complexes. That's from the look of it, and the look of the guards here. You see they all have war picks and pretty decent armor on. And you know, Zakan, that all of the various mining complexes only have one entrance to them, so that they can be heavily guarded. And any mining ventures that break through into other more complicated tunnels and structures are collapsed and given up on. And if there's any promising veins, they'll approach them from a different direction. Because it's just
like the outskirts, eh?
Yeah, it just very quickly becomes undefensible if there's any problems like that. And you're gestured to come forward, and all of you make your way up onto the ledge. And then, as Zakan predicted, as Glavagul comes into view, they all bring their weapons up quickly. And they're like, what the bloody hell are you doing with that? Keep it back!
This may sound surprising, but, well, they are sentient and rather polite. They've presented no threat to us over the past few weeks.
Ha! Likely story. They're just getting close so they can dissolve you into a mush.
Surely
the past few weeks?
They work
like
slow.
2 weeks or something, right?
They're insidious.
No,
you be more careful as well if you'd suffer the same losses we have recently. Get it back!
We can
Whispers to
certainly.
Gravel. Speak up. Let them know you're friendly.
And then
Right?
there's a pause, and the leader of the guards just like clutches it. He says like, "Ah, it's in my brain. It's got some sort of telepathic powers."
Yes. To talk to you.
Doesn't seem too assured by that.
Oh,
Someone can make a persuasion check here.
persuasion. I was just about to ask, could I make a persuasion? Given that I'm riding a giant cave spider.
Yeah, from atop the giant
obviously-
spider.
Thank you. Like more so like obviously, not everything that could eat you is a bad thing right now. Kind of pointing out that I like low key kind of take. I have tamed this. Like I have tamed this spider.
We cut to Webster's inner thoughts. Sorry, because I let you.
You're only alive because I made a
This was
promise.
more of an equal.
You're lucky that I like you.
They're like, just work with me, baby. I'm trying something here.
That's him.
Daddy's talking. All my pets, you're only alive because I like you. I tamed them.
Like any zookeeper, really. only alive at the behest of the animals.
I am the zookeeper. I'm just the one that won't bite immediately.
So
I can only do so
what
much.
do you say for this role?
I would say perception. I said perception. I meant persuasion.
It's a persuasion roll, but what do you say to the gut, literally?
No, like literally, I say that I sort of tamed them. I kind of speak on it like that. Like this is under my charge, and is a part of the way we protect people through the Underdark.
Can Zakan assist with this role by saying they have protected us, and times are more dangerous out there, so unlikely allies can be found. I think the Sverkneblin know of this quite well when it comes to survival.
Okay, so Corbin, with advantage, roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, not that one. So that's a lot better. All right, with advantage is 18.
Okay. They still look very suspicious.
That's
and
fair.
very worried about this whole thing. And you you say that to him, and they're like,
I hope it's impressive.
we know about using beasts for very. I mean, we got a whole cave of giant lizards back there. We understand.
Ooh.
We understand that, but those things are mindless forces of destruction. It's all we can do to keep them at bay up in the city. Glabagul's like, if it's going to be a problem, I could just stay outside. I can't. Something. No, I'll see you soon. It's just gonna.
Do you
It's just gonna.
always know where a part of you is?
Excuse me?
If a piece of you is apart from you, do you always know where it is?
I've never tried.
Would you like to?
Certainly.
I would like to take one of my empty, because I think of the tools. I would like to take one of my empty jars that I have and kind of take some of him. Maybe it'll keep a bit of him with us, so if we need, maybe he can find us or something.
A glass one, I assume. Yes.
Yes, a glass one. It's like a
And-
vial of Gobble.
He extends one of those pseudopods, and at the end of it kind of tapers into like a water drop kind of shape. And as you hold out the thing,
Hold it.
and then he's just like, ow, 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 ow.
Sorry. You like put the cork on it with the stopper. Put it in the far pocket.
I'd make sure that stays upright. That stopper won't last long if it goes upside down.
Noted. It is because their bag has like slots for everything, so they like put it back in its little like slot holder. But then they're like, yeah, you can stay out of here. They don't seem to have a problem with Webster, but we'll be back.
I need to see what this is.
That's why I asked. Would this know what it is? Because then I could tell you. I could find it. Then I can come tell you what it is.
It's difficult to explain. Much like I know where that is, like a pseudopod gestures towards your glass vial with parts of them. I feel the presence of something else.
Something like you? New and sentient?
It's difficult to explain. It's a compulsion.
Okay.
I'll just stay alive. I will find you.
All right. Right, so it's like grouping away, though I do want to like make a note, like lean over and kind of whisper between Alora and Zakan that they were saying that it's all they could do to keep, they were specifically saying the slimes at bay, right? So if the other slimes are feeling the same compulsion as Globagol, whatever is in here is drawing them to this town, and I don't think they know that.
He mysteriously jumps through a waterfall and disappears.
Globagol!
I don't like
free Globagol!
That was me. Sorry, that was me referencing a very old movie. It's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, we're having a free Willy moment, and then he jumps over. It's a free Globagol.
I think was that Dances with Wolves? I can't remember.
I would assume.
Last of the Mohicans. Last of the Mohicans.
Last of them.
Yeah. Is this a random point where it just like goes randomly Irish? He's like, just stay alive. I will find you. just jumps through a waterfall. Okay. Anyway. Sorry, very old movie. So, Globagol, not wanting to cause a scene, it seems, schleps off in towards another side cavern, and the rest of them are like, hey.
Globagol, just stay clear of people.
Hey.
Try to hide if you can.
It just like stops. It's completely see-through.
Yeah,
So don't get too close to
don't let people walk towards you.
Find some cracks and try to fit in there.
I never intend to do that ever again. And I've realized I can talk to people now. So hopefully they
the crap out of so many people.
Well, the problem is I tried that with that drow. I said stop right there, and he panicked and ran straight into me.
You might want to open with, I am the big gelatinous cube that you see.
Well, they don't see me. That's the problem.
Yeah, this is.
Probably put more rocks in you.
What type of land are we on? Like, is there like large rocks?
Always.
I'm gonna make a circle of large rocks. Stay here, buddy. So we know where you are.
It says friend.
Other people know where you are. It says friend.
No,
Do not
I'm sorry.
interact.
Thank you, Corbin, but I have to. I need to. This is. Slip. Disappears off that side
Okay,
cover.
buddy.
So the stuff and everyone's like, yeah, you better run.
This looks
Make a
like
note of what direction you went into.
Corbin, you want to say?
to Blingdenstone. They say like going towards the entrance now.
Okay. Now, let me have a quick look here. Okay. So you follow the guards as a couple of them break off from the main group, leave it, and the Galabdur stay there at the entrance. But the rest of you are ushered into a hidden tunnel, which is tucked away behind a fold in the rock almost, and you make your way into this slightly low space. I think Zakarn and Elora would have to duck a bit. I think you're the tall. I think Corbin, you're a bit shorter, are you? Right? That's the image I had.
Yeah, Corbin is like, I think they go up to Alora's shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Zakan taller than Alora? Because I know they are like, they only come up to like Zakan's chest.
Yes.
Like Alora's shoulder.
It's maybe a hidden blessing that Ignatius is not with us. He's had a very difficult time. Yeah.
All 8 feet of them.
Yeah. And
Right? It's one of those, Ignatius does this and then hanging off of his arm is Corbin going,
That definitely happened. Absolutely happened.
And you, yes, you duck into the passageway and are led in. And as you make your way further away from the entrance, you start to hear off in the distance the ringing of picks on stone. And there's the smell of kind of, you know, that smell that kind of stone dust makes. Have you ever been like around a stone cutter? Like, yeah, there's that kind of strange smell that comes off from that, and you kind of get that smell in the air, and you are led down to what is clearly kind of like the habitation of, you know, area for these guys and gals that are working away out here in the mines, and you are led through into the you know, the living quarters and spaces, and there's all sorts of, there's some communal spots and then kind of dormitory kind of rooms that you can see. You get a glimpse as some Swerve Nebulin come out. They all react quite surprised and suspicious when they first see you, even though you're being escorted and, you know, with people. You know, narrowed eyes and muttered conversations as you go by. And you are led to what is clearly some kind of office for the mine here, you know, the main part of the mines there, and you are told to wait as the guide who's with you gives a rap on the door and disappears in. He's like, Mr. Bigshine, we've got some outsiders here, and a couple of locals returned from being away for a while. You hear them, so he's like, "Oh well, show them in. You hear a deeper voice, and the door was ajar still, but it gets opened up fully, and the guard is like, "Well, in you come. I'll be waiting out here," and he ushers you in, and you find this fairly spacious office, horizontally, vertically not so much, and there is a bunch of filing cabinets along the wall, and then a large table with all sorts of charts and kind of maps of the caverns and figures and data about the mining operations that are happening at the moment. And then over behind a very sturdy Zirkwood desk is a large bearded, which is quite rare, Swerve Nebulin, who stands up and he's like, "Now then, welcome to the Pickshine Mines. My name's where is he? My name's Dasko Pickshine, and this whole facility is under my supervision, and we are in charge of all the mining for Blingdenstone. Where have you come from? What's your business?" And I think Jim Jar will still be like on point here. He's like, "Very nice to meet you, Mr. Pickshine. I've heard nothing but good things about the family and all of the riches that you've been digging up for us, and all the stuff you've been doing for Blingdenstone. These fine adventurers were caught up in a spot of bother with me and our travelling friends here. and his face darkens, probably more than you've seen it in your time with him. We were captured by drow slavers. And the supervisor's face also, equally darkens. He's like, those drow bastards. Aye. Well, this lot helped us escape, and they've kept us safe and sound as we've been travelling back here. And they've had to. There's some messed up shit going on out there, boss. And Desco's like, you don't know the half of it. Well, you're welcome to stay here the night. There's a shipment of ore going up to the city tomorrow morning. You can travel up with them. Thank you very much, Mr. Pickshine. That'll be splendid. Please, everyone, introduce yourselves. And the Swerfneblin stands up, not rising much up above the desk than he already was, but stands up and clumps around in very heavy steel toe-capped boots, and extends a very work-weathered, calloused hand. Definitely seen lots and lots of time in the mines themselves as well. Not just a desk job for this guy. And he comes around, and Elora comes over to you first. Dasko Pickshine, supervisor here of the Pickshine mines.
Pleasure to meet you. And she gives back a very firm handshake.
Mm-hmm. And goes to you, Zakan. Dasko Pickshine, charge of general operations.
They give a bow and say, I am Zakan, known to some as the Lightbringer. I am pleased to see the Sverkneblin back where I'm in their homes.
We've barely touched the surface yet. Lightbringer, that rings a bell.
I have brought many into this city, although you may have been when you were a bit younger, but the caravans that Blingdenstone has been helpful in escorting lost souls back to the surface.
Is that where you're headed?
Jimjar and some of the others are hoping to return home to the city here, and some of the others are hoping to go to the surface.
Well, your timing's right. We've just tapped into a new seam of adamantine ore, and we could do with the extra security. You accompany that wagon train tomorrow, and we'll take you to the city.
I'd be happy to. If I may ask, do you have any relation to a Kazook Pickshine?
Yeah, his cousin.
We have a delivery for him from a contact in Grackelstock. If you could provide his address, we could make sure it gets to him.
You can find that outside the city. You gotta earn information around here. What's he doing with Grackelstock? Anyway, Draskell, and extends a hand to you as well, Corbin. Strong silent type, I see. You there, Buns? Buns?
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah,
and
can
couldn't
you hear us
me
now?
at all.
We can hear
Yes.
you. Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Drasko introduced himself to you as well.
They would stay quiet. They would kind of go like this and be like,
I'll keep the strong silent type column then. It still works. Okay. And we should take a step away from the Underdark for a while there. Congratulations. Some nice dice rolling there to keep you safe and sound for the end of the journey.
Yeah.
That's a rare thing to go nearly a whole 10 day without any violence. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now,
3 good rolls in a row.
yes. Zakan, I just need you to do one thing before we leave and say goodbye to all these lovely people and head on off a raiding somewhere before we come back to some other party of adventurers somewhere else in the multiverse. That treasure you got last week? Yeah, from the fountain?
My mace?
No, the coins and stuff that Zakan got from the fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have that jotted down, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in charge of that? Okay. Do me a favor and minus 12 gold pieces from it.
Minus 12 gold pieces from it.
Mm-hmm.
We pocketed.
Which you would notice the next time it comes in.
I feel like Laura might notice them.
Okay. So yeah, next time any stock taking is taken. I just wanted to mention that before I forgot. You have not noticed yet, but that is something that has happened. Okay. Anyway, there we go. Hey, a massive thank you to my 3 adventurers here. Let's do a quick round of what have we enjoyed, or what are we looking forward to here. Corbin, how about you?
I think I enjoyed that this session was like a lot of like the travel talks. It was actually really nice to just kind of hear people talk things out and kind of set the tone and the page for what's going to happen. I think looking forward,
I think like, in a full campaign, that's also really good to have like from time to time just to really keep in touch with the character as well, and instead of just their abilities. yeah. Sorry, you were saying?
No, but the things that I'm looking forward to, I think, are just kind of the shenanigans that I know Corbin is going to get into. Because this very much so, the more that people are talking, they're kind of like not paying attention until it's like, why are we running? Who's chasing that guy? Oh, we're chasing that guy. And that situation is just Corbin in a nutshell.
Totally.
They're very much so into their environment more than they are to what's happening in it until it pulls them in. I can't wait until they kind of like start realizing that something's going on, and then it's kind of going to be gung-ho. So I'm looking forward to shenanigans that they can get into.
Excellent.
Especially with brand new towns and a caravan.
Indeed. Thank you. Zakan, how about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed hearing a bit more from Topsy Turvy, like in those travel talks.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It was cool to set up, and I'm interested to see, like how it kind of shakes out and connects to this, sort of conflicting groups and the fact that they have a history with it and everything. Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool to see where it goes.
Yeah, and Elora, how about you?
Yeah, similar. I liked the travel talks. I liked hearing where everyone wanted to go and kind of working that out, specifically Corbin with their background, seeing where they might want to go from here. I'm very curious.
Indeed. Yeah, again, another thing, to keep track of whilst you're doing all these kind of things, right, is, who is the character, and, what are their kind of feelings about things, and then what are the goals, right, exactly. Yeah, it's very easy just to, especially in one like this where it's kind of a, wide-ranging, kind of almost exploration-focused thing, where, you end up being very focused on what's right directly in front of you all the time. And, it's definitely nice to talk. For my part, I really enjoyed trying to do other Liverpudlian accents. Before this adventure, Jim Jazz, that kind of like slightly higher pitched one is the only one I've done. So doing Topsy and Turvy, and now these Swerfneblin here, trying to do different pitched Liverpudlian accents is a challenge.
The whole city of them.
Yay! Yes, they will be talking to you
fantasy
guys
Liverpool.
more. Indeed. There isn't a docks. We can't get. It's like this is the river. There's a massive river Mersey just going through. All the little Swerfneblin. Oh, ferry across the Mersey. All right. Anyway, sorry. I was a Liverpool fan when I was in school, so all the songs there. All right. Thank you, you lovely people, and all of you over there in chat who have been with us as well. Thank you so much, and thank you. It's been nice having a bit of back and forth there. It was good to see Lazy, Mr. Microbiologist jumping in there at the end, and D&D Comic. Thank you. It was nice to see you there, and everyone else who came by as well. Thank you very much. We hope that you have enjoyed this and are able to join us again soon as we continue our adventures. We, later on today for me, and tomorrow for some of you fine people I am sure, will be heading over in the direction of Ravenloft, back to our Barovia and Beyond campaign. They have defeated the evil demon Chernabog that was rising from the mountain top, and they have driven out the various terrible, scary spider folk who are not as cuddly as Webster in any way whatsoever from the mansion of Argon Vostholt and have claimed it for themselves. Where will they go next? I do not know, so I'm not quite sure how to prepare for tonight. So do come and see whatever it's going to be, because I have no idea where they're going to be going. But we shall see. And looking forward to that very much. Then, Thursday evening or Friday morning, depending where you are in the world, do definitely drop on by and join us for the first session, the grand opening of our Wild Beyond the Witchlights campaign. The introduction I will show to you as we finish up today. I'm very much looking forward to that. A new group of adventurers, a couple of friends who are completely new to the channel. I'm very excited to have them in, and a couple of old friends as well. So we shall be joining all of this new characters, new adventures, new domains to explore as we will be heading to the Feywild. Not at the start, as there's the Witchlight Carnival to enjoy first, but we will be heading to the Feywild for the first time ever on this channel. I'm very excited to do that. And then that will bring us around to later on for Friday for everybody. Hey, Fizcan. Fizcan says, why does everyone look so sad? What did I miss? I hope it's just because it's the end of the session, Fizcan.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're just sad to stop playing. So yes, we will be heading on over to the shores of the Sea of Fallen Stars once more as we continue our Chicenta's Tyranny campaign. They are also going to meet a new friend. I hope that you're able to join us for that, as they have a new member joining their party, as unfortunately we have to say goodbye to another one, even though we've just gotten rolling, but we will be jumping into that. Then that will bring us around to Saturday, when you can join us and find us over on Quest Junkies UK as we play in Patch's amazing campaign, Rodania, and I am a barefoot wild magic barbarian. It's all good stuff. Okay, thank you everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here, joining us for our adventures wherever and whenever you can. Stick around for the raid, get yourself some of those Dream Pie channel points, and if you got them, let those phoenixes fly. But until next time, enjoy the introduction to Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Stick around for the raid, and as we like to say around these parts, Anthony. See you everyone. Thank you.